I've got a nice golden colour one.
Daniel, describe a situation in which you had worked with a difficult client or coworker. Explain how you dealt with the issue.
Well, it depends on the nature of the relationship. With a client, obviously there is a degree of trust, and there's a very different level of dynamics between a client and a practitioner because you know that they come to you and there's a level of trust with that, and so you have to be very diplomatic and very respectful and very clear and concise with them. Where with a coworker, it depends very much of the nature, whether it's someone who is superior or subordinate or equal in your positions. So you know, with the superior, obviously you can't just tell them that you know when you're having a conflict like that, that it's just something that's, you know, as simple as, well, you're wrong. You know, you have to be very respectful to someone who's just superior. Where your coworker, you could be more frank with, and someone who's your superior, you could just tell them outright. Your inferior, sorry, not your superior, because it's you know, it's one of those things of a learning curve and a mentor to a junior relationship.
Great, thank you. Tell me about the recent situation in which you had dealt with very upset patient or staff member.
So recently I had a client who was upset with the eating habits, wanted to eat healthy, but yet kept eating, you know, food that was bad for them, and kept falling into bad habits, and becomes, you know, very upset, wanting to, you know, break down into tears about it, and just needed to just stop, count down from, you know, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then, you know, just stop and take notice of the moment, then go forth and, you know, acknowledge everything that they're feeling and go through all of that and, you know, help address what needs to be done.
Great, thank you. Describe a situation where you had to resolve a complaint. What is the issue resolved? How did you deal with the situation?
So for me, one of the biggest problems which I consistently struggle with is I'm a very fast talker, and I have to consistently pull myself back to go ahead and not talk 50 million miles an hour and very intensely and very actively. And it made for the client very difficult to understand me. So I had to make sure I had very concise diction as well as slowing my speed down.
Okay, great. Thank you. How you present complicated information or instruction to patients?
So with complicated information, I try to break it down into simple analogies. You know, one of the things is that you know, explaining to a client sometimes when they feel threatened by a stranger for no reason, and they describe it as a gut feeling, and they're not sitting there listening well. It was probably because they were standing, you know, maybe a little too close, and they kept, you know, incessantly, unsolicitedly, responsively, over and over and over. Oh, how's your day? What you doing? What are you doing after this? All that kind of consistent badgering, 50 million little things that you wouldn't think of, that are you're not really conscious of, but you process nonetheless, and that says instinctively that's something's wrong. And not overloading and saying that's the 50 million reasons why, and just saying that it's a completely rational response and acknowledging that.
Okay, great. Thank you. Describe a time when you helped the client accept change and make necessary adjustment to move forward.
So this is relating to the earlier question with the client with the bad eating habit. One of the things was that, you know, it was out of control and illustrated that it needed to be under control. Needed to have a support network put in place to help have the strength of will to affect change. Because there was a desire to affect change, but no real, you know, kept getting off the horse, kept falling off the horse over and over and over. And so, you know, going to the GP and having a healthcare plan laid out and, you know, seeking support from family members is, you know, very important to lay a good solid foundation for effecting change.
Okay, great. Thank you. Tell me a situation that you have to clarify boundary in between professional and personal. How did you do it? Could the audience accept the explanation?
So in this case, I particularly had a client who always consistently referred to it. Well, as a friend, how about you tell me this? Well, the thing that I had to make very clear is, well, I'm not your friend, and I'm not trying to be, upsetting with that, but it is that, you are coming to me, you are paying me money, and you're getting my full attention, and, and getting me to help achieve whatever goals you want to achieve. And, while that is a great bolster to your own self-confidence, and, you get a familiarity from seeing people in your life regularly, does not equal friendship. I made that very clear.
Thank you very much for your time, Daniel.